What's up, Comicbook.com? Brandon Davis here with my R2-D2 hat that I got from New Era. I love it. Here to review Star Wars The Force Awakens. Loved the movie. We're going to go through what it got right, what it got wrong, and an overall bottom line. Not in that order. Loved the movie. This is going to be 100% spoiler-free. That's part of why I love the movie, because I got to see it spoiler-free, not knowing what was going to happen, and it made it so much more epic and shocking in Star Wars. So let's start with what it got wrong. Don't have much to say here, but I will say I wish it was a touch funnier. I think that maybe if it was a touch funnier, it would have an even better chance at beating Avatar at the box office. Avatar is very, very high at the box office. A lot of people are going to have to go see this movie time and time again to beat that record. If it was funny, a 2-hour, 20-minute movie, it would be easier to do that for. It would be more encouraging for people to go back. I'm going to watch it probably 2 more times this weekend, but I do wish that it maybe was just a little touch funnier. Now, that's not to say there are no funny moments. Han makes us laugh. Chewbacca, Finn, Rey, all the characters make us laugh. BB-8 is great. He's so cute. But I do wish that there was more humor at more appropriate places. But, I mean, that's just being critical. Maybe the pacing was a little slow to start with. It starts with this great scene, and then it kind of spreads out. But I think that's justified because they're introducing new characters. And I love J.J. Abrams' way of doing that, which really, that's also being critical, is criticizing the pacing. I'm just trying to think of where we could find faults with this movie. That brings me to what I got right, which the characters are the first thing. I'm a huge J.J. Abrams fan, and the way he develops characters. I loved Lost and what the whole team did with that show. I think that when you have good characters, you can make a good story. Now, obviously, Lost got a little off the rails. I enjoyed it the whole time, but I know a lot of people lost track and, criticized that show. But I loved Lost all the way through. And I think that he had, with Poe, Rey, and Finn, he introduced them all brilliantly, but he made great characters for the future of this franchise. It was almost like a passing of the torch from Han Solo and Princess Leia and Luke Skywalker to these 3 characters, but that's not to say that those characters are not going to be involved in the rest of this trilogy going forward. I 100% think they'll be there. But Poe and Rey and Finn are just... Daisy Ridley's about to take off. She was amazing. They had the chance to shine, all 3 of them, and they all shined bright. It was great. And the story... maybe could have used just a little bit more focus. It was a little... I mean, it's what did I say? The story was great. I had a great time watching this movie. I'm just trying to find reasons to criticize it. But really, there was no point in this movie where I said, I don't like it, I'm bored, this is off track. It was a really fun movie. It was action-packed. The effects were amazing. And about the effects, it felt like... for Star Wars fans from the beginning, or people who just got into it recently, I know this is going to be a cross-generation movie. People of all ages are going to watch this. People of all ages are probably watching this review. It felt like we just jumped right into the 80s movies and put the modern cinema effects and the things that with technology to those movies. I mean, it like just picked up. It just felt like we went right back to it, especially with this opening scene with Oscar Isaac's Poe Dameron. He just has one of the first lines of the movie, and it just takes us right back to that. It's a very Han Solo moment, but for Poe Dameron, and it was a lot of fun, and I know that Star Wars fans are going to love it. George Lucas said this is the movie that Star Wars fans wanted, and he wasn't wrong. I mean, this is exactly what Star Wars fans want, and I was worried that this movie might feel like a hinge to a bigger plot, a bigger overarching story, much like a lot of people said about Avengers Age of Ultron. It felt like a stepping stone to get to Civil War, but that was not the case. Now, this leaves the door open for the future of the Star Wars movies, and I can't wait for Episode 8. But it tells a whole story in itself, while also leaving us with a whole bunch of questions. Now, we have questions about the characters, we have questions about what's next, but it satisfies us for the story that had to be told in this movie, and I couldn't be happier about that. So this is very much the movie Star Wars fans wanted, and go in there spoiler-free, because big positive, shocking moments, especially in that third act. Wait for them. Shocking moments. Stay off the internet. I'm telling you right now. Stay spoiler-free. You're going to get goosebumps. You're going to cry. You're going to get goosebumps when those opening credits scroll take off. But bottom line here, I'm giving this movie a 9.7 out of 10. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I wouldn't go as far to say it's perfect, and I'm trying to be as subjective about this as possible. I know I'm a fan, but I'm also being a critic here. It was a lot of fun. It was just so many moments that gave me goosebumps in this film. the Star Wars franchise is totally back, and I cannot wait to dive into the rest of this trilogy. That's the bottom line. So you're going to see it this weekend, regardless of this review. I could have said it was a 1 out of 10, and you're going to go see it. Let me know what you think of the movie on Twitter, at BrandonDavisBD. I'm not going to talk spoilers, so don't waste your time. But I do love talking about this stuff. I love hearing what you guys think. So after you see it, send me your rating. Please, I love hearing from that. Let me know if you agree, disagree, if I rated it too high, if it deserved a 10. But yeah, let's talk about it on there. I'll see you later. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the movie. May the Force be with you. See you later, guys.